عليكم السلام.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل كله وصحبه كله أجمعين. رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي. Welcome to another Quranic session. So inshallah we continue our journey with Dr. Ali Marmar. And I think we done last week with a section on the Quran as being the book of wisdom. And this week we're going to, inshallah, start the Quran as being the book of dua. So we spent several weeks in terms of Quran being book of the wisdom because we mentioned that essentially Quran is the way to read the universe, to look at the event and to see the meaning behind them, to see the sign within them. The reason that we spent a lot of, I don't recall exactly, but I think several weeks we covered that section. It's mainly because the Quranic way of reading creation and the secular way of reading creation is very different. And the secular reading of creation blinding us to see the sign of Allah. So therefore, it's really essential, as we all are the product of the secular education, to understand how the Quran teach us to read the creation, how the Quran um, help us to see the signs within creation. And essentially, it's the whole point was like our belief is supposed to be based on the evidence that we see in the creation in terms of the manifestation of absolute power and absolute knowledge. As we reason on the creation and reflect on the very essence of creation and its interconnectivity and its dynamic essence of being continuously created, this lead us to logically conclude that there must be the source of this, that the source must have an infinite power and infinite knowledge, and that's what we call must be absolute. And again, the counter argument that we hear in terms of it's the laws, it is the forces, it is certain, let's say, chemical reactions. So we spend a lot of time to see how we can negate those, because like in a kalima shahada, that we have to really use the evidence and negate the false choices, and then we use the evidence to affirm the right one. That is the in ahadiyya, in terms of the tawheed, the unity in creation. So, and this week, inshallah, we're going to reflect on the prayer we mentioned very briefly last week, and so we're going to see. Obviously, we need to define what is prayer, why we need prayer, and since God does not need anything, He is Ahad and Samad, then why we actually pray and how we're supposed to understand the prayer within our understanding of the creation and what are the benefit of prayer. I think those are some key questions, inshallah, we're going to address this week. Let's
Yeah,
start, Dr. Ali.
thank you, thank you. Yeah. It is strange that when we read the Quran, there are some narrations in the Quran that the prophets, in the stories of the prophets, how the prophets prayed to Allah. So when we read the Quran, this is the prayer book. The Quran, one aspect of the Quran, of course, is to being a prayer book. So he's teaching us how to pray to God through narrating the stories of the prophets. So how the prophets, being in a certain condition, they prayed to God, communicated to God. It means they invoked God to respond to their demands or whatever they need, mostly asking for help. So we are going to study from another perspective. We are not going to narrate all the prayer, the verses of the Quran which contains the prayers of the prophets, examples. There are many. There are many. We are not going to study that. We are going to study the what prayer, supplication is really, and how Quran teaches us the essence of prayer that the human beings are in need of. And if we are convinced that, yes, we really are in need of the prayer, then we can learn all the verses in the Quran. It's very easy. Go and ask AI. So please give me the list of the verses that the mentioned in the Quran contains the prophetic prayers or supplications. It's very easy. So we have to understand what the essence of prayer is and how Quran teaches us. That is another perspective, which is not very much paid attention. So inshallah, we are going to pay attention to this. Now, uh, our friend has chosen this. I copied from him. The friend, he takes the notes of our class or discussions here. So we mentioned the subject there. The tourists are coming there because we don't know. You know what we do? It is so interesting that farmers now they mostly they are commercial farmers. They have big farms and they have their own brand name. And when they, for example, this person is now sowing the corn seeds, and the company says, for example, X, there is a name of the company, let's say John Smith, right? John Smith corns. Do you understand? The brand name owns the production. And also, when we are in our daily life, we use the language, these are Californian strawberries or Californian dates. And the Muslims said the Medina dates. So, well, do we notice that there is no creator? Only the farmer is mentioned in our concepts and the package. And we don't know who grew them, who created them. Now, what is, uh, of course, we discussed about the subject. The people, the city developers or have the urban people don't know how, whether there is a strawberry tree or strawberry plants, we don't know. It's packet. Uh, that is very strange civilization. Anyways, that is our reality. Now, we talked about it. This man is doing what? But I'll ask the audience. So you are the representative of the audience, Dr. Nejati. Is this man is a believer? Is he a believer in God or not? We don't know, do we?
We don't know, I
We
guess.
don't know. No. Let's assume that he is a strong believer, that everything is created by God, right?
Yes.
Okay. He is doing this as a strong believer, whatever he is doing, sowing, all right? I'm not going to ask a very philosophical question, very simple. This man is a believer throwing the corns in, or sowing the corns and doing the farming that he is doing, right?
Yes.
Now, if assume that this man is a picture, it's not a real man, no picture. This man is a very, very obstinate atheist. Do you think, and then obstinate atheist, he doesn't believe in God the creator. Everything is naturally develops, evolves. Right. Is he going to do something else than what a believer is doing?
I don't think so. I think they will do the same thing.
He will do the same thing. Hmm?
Yes.
Let's assume that he is a Christian. Is he going to do something else to grow the corn plant?
No,
Muslim?
no, doesn't matter.
Oh, what does it mean then? Do what I understood from here, of course, everybody else, all our friends here, they will say, whether you are a believer, non-believer, or a Christian, Buddhist, whatever, Jew, as far as our relationship with the universe is physically concerned, there would be no difference. So, what makes a believer and a non-believer different from each other? We are doing the same thing. When I am thirsty, I drink water. When an atheist person is thirsty, he drinks water. Yeah, maybe drink wine, doesn't matter, something liquid, right? There is no difference. What makes a difference then between a believer and a non-believer? Any suggestion? Physically, we do the same thing. Physically, we look at the same universe, communicate with the same universe. We communicate with it in the same way. Yeah. What do you think?
I think it does remind me. I had an atheist friend. He
Mm.
once, we had very many sessions of kind of dialogue. In one session, he told me this. He said, "Look, you're educated as an economist. So tell me, do you get any different than me? I'm an atheist, you're a believer. Does God do anything different for you because of your belief when you study, when you do the work?" That was, I think it's like the same, a kind of similar thing you're saying. Like, I mean, is there a difference between really being believer and non-believer when you do the farming, when you do the business, when you do the, studying? That's the question, I guess, right?
Yeah, but we do the same thing. What is the difference then? Why do we bother about believing or non-believing? We are acting in the same way. Now, this crucial point that in our relationship with the universe, in fact, makes only change the direction of our intentions in doing this. Let's assume the scenario one, a strong believer. This man is sowing the seeds and saying that the creator of the universe, my creator, the one who created me with the need of corns, food to eat, is going to create it for me. Yeah, his mind, his feelings are directly related to the creator of the universe, connected with him, and define that he is the one who takes care of my need, who created it. And he consciously uh, put me in this position so that I will recognize, this point is very crucial. Our friends, we have to be careful. I will recognize that I cannot create. I am in need of somebody else who will create the food I need. That it makes the difference. Or let's now, uh, shall we go
I think so. Can I share one point on this one? I feel like one key point, the differences is as a believer, planting seed is necessary, part of Sunnatullah. You will do that, but growing the plant is a creation. So, and that creation, the cause is necessary but not sufficient. Therefore, there must be, in this case, the direct involvement of the creator to create what I want. So, in a way, I'm going to plant the seed, but I know the seed cannot grow because the plant is a new creation and I cannot grow it as well. Therefore, I'm going to plant the seed and make dua by word as well and say, oh Allah, create this for me. Maybe that's what the believer will be conscious of this as a new creation and will feel is necessary that you do the supplication as well, not just the action. A non-believer will don't do that. That's what I will say.
No,
I guess.
we will study that. We will go into details this. Yeah.
Okay.
Now, last week we studied an important verse then from Surah Yasin, and it was clearly stated in the ayat that وَمَا عَمِلَتْهُ أَيْدِيهِمْ. It wasn't their own hands that made all this. Now, we have to be very careful. It wasn't their hands that made all this, whatever we are consuming in this world. But what we do, he is now the farmer is here, whether he's a believer or an atheist. He is not creating. He is not creating. It's very important. He says, I am the corn producer. That is the language we use. Now, I am a farmer. I produce, I don't know, watermelon, for example. That's what we use. Quran says, no, it is not your hands which are creating. What is he doing? Complete submission, whether he is an atheist or none, or a very strong believer in God. He is just asking. That is the prayer that we have to understand from the teaching of the Quran. All the verses, ayat of the Quran, which introduces the Creator and which tells that all human beings, you are completely dependent on me, are the verses of the Quran which we could call them prayer works, prayer verses, prayer ayat. Not the prophets are verbally saying something narrated in the Quran only. These are just verbal expressions, but the essence of of understanding the prayer is the relationship between me and my attitude, what I am doing in this world, what the creator, owner of the universe is responding to me. All these ayats are under the title of the Quran as the book of prayer. Now, we misunderstand and reduce the prayers on the verbal expressions. Verbal expressions must be based on our understanding of relationship between me and the universe. And while I am doing anything, what am I doing? Anything. I wanted to stand up, for example. I'm sitting now. I want to stand up. As I want to stand up, I use my free will to act is a prayer. That is what we learn from the Quran. So, of course, Quran introduces, especially the primarily, practically as well, who the creator of the universe is. But to me, the almost entirety of the Quran somehow, openly or not, is the book of prayer. Whole Quran is a book of prayer, reminding me that I am totally dependent on the creator of the universe. Whether I believe it or not, doesn't matter, regardless. Now, everything, because this man is throwing it, he never has any share in growing of the corn. That is what absolute difference between a created man and a creator. So the farmers should never call themselves producers. No, let's say, I don't know, tomato producers, the tomato producer company. No, there's again, famous Californian bananas. No, there is no Californian bananas. Creators bananas, creators corns, creators tomatoes. We are beggars, beggars. That is the essence of the teaching of the Quran. That's what we have to understand, that the Quran is essentially the book of prayer. But from where? From existential point of view, the essence of what is my relationship with the universe is nothing but prayer. I can, whether I am an obstinate atheist, I cannot go out of my position as a beggar, begging the one who creates the result for me. I am drinking water. No, I'm very thirsty. I want to get rid of the my thirst. So I need to quench my thirst. You cannot do that. You can only pray. I am an atheist. I don't believe in God. You pray. You pray. Let's now, after this, a comparison. Everyone prays through his life, throughout his life, regardless, whatever you are. But praying to whom? This is the problem. Quran teaches this right address of the prayer. Now I will read it. No, the address of the prayer. Now
Dr.
I
Ali,
just
yeah, I think before you move to that one, you made some very good point. I want to just highlight that because this one is that who you're going to address, but before you define what the prayer is, that is really essential to understand and why it's important. And meanwhile, I was looking in Surah Al-Furqan, there's a beautiful ayah there. It says, قُلْ مَا يَعْبَأُ بِكُمْ رَبِّي لَوْلَا دُعَاؤُكُمْ. That ayah, I think, it
we
says
are
that,
going to study this.
yeah. So in this case, the whole importance of being human is dua, which basically means that as a human, you're saying dua is not just memorizing certain statement and reciting them. Dua is essentially understanding who we are as an abd and understanding our impotence and absolute neediness and establish a relationship with Creator through action, word, and everything, asking whatever we want from Him because we cannot get what we cannot do, we cannot produce because we don't have the power. So that is, I think, it's like this is very comprehensive definition of dua. So first is not by word, by action is also dua. Second is that is not for Muslims only, for every human is dua because dua is asking for something that's beyond your power that you want and you need. So in that case, you're saying that everyone makes dua, everyone asks for some things, and in this case, perhaps as the Quran put it, what makes human to be human is conscious request, conscious supplication, conscious dua. So that is really what does it mean to be human. I think that's very, mashallah, that's very comprehensive, very good definition of what dua is. That's why I want to really highlight this.
Yeah, but we have to go step by step.
Okay, inshallah.
How do we go to this prayer of the believers? So we have to follow the reasoning sequence, inshallah, step by step. So here it is. Some people are aware that there are expecting a conscious absolute being who is the creator of the universe, and therefore the creator of the human beings with their needs is going to create what he is expecting to be created from them. So some people are there, they say the creator of the universe, the absolute creator of the universe, is going to respond to my prayer, to my physical prayer. One category of the people are doing the same action. Everybody is doing the same action. We should never forget that. And some others pray to nature. Example, just three examples I took. Three category people. They pray to nature, but still they pray. But rather than the creator of the universe, they imagine there is something nature, whatever it is. No one knows what nature is. But they imagine that naturally it happens. Okay. They believe that ruthless nature meets their innate emotions and needs emotions and needs blindly and without awareness. Nature is a blind. No one says nature is a conscious. So consequently, they are satisfied only if luck is on their side. If I am lucky, they say. Otherwise, they go unmet. They say, if I'm not lucky, I don't get the result. The things they do have no purpose because the responder to the prayer is not conscious. That's what we now. Then, can you imagine the word psychological situation of the person who doesn't believe in God? He is addressing to someone who is to something which has no consciousness, no purpose. Now it's a just ruthless nature. Ruthless nature. Why? It is very famous that nature doesn't discriminate. So this is unconscious. Now, the things they do have no purpose because they are speaking. Can you imagine? You are standing in front of a, let's say, big stone, right? And asking the stone to do something for you. They call you crazy. Who are you speaking to? The stone doesn't understand. But those people who believe in nature, doesn't believe in God, but in nature, that's why they say in their philosophy, the universe is not responding to me because they have really frozen the universe into air like collection of stones, meaningless stones. That is their psychological situation that we have to understand. Those don't believe in a conscious creator of the universe. but believe in nature, they are speaking to a stone and expecting the stone to respond back. This psychology makes them useless, futile being. And in the end, they feel that they will simply cease to exist with no result. That's why they say we are going to disappear from existence. Ultimately, what are we doing then? What are we doing? Just meaningless. At the end, everything will go and become nothing, disappear from existence. Purposeless life. You see how the people are described, the psychology of the people are described in the Quran, that they have no hope at all for the future. They are completely bankrupted people. Why? There is no end. There is no purpose. Their life is always the for the future in expectation of something, luck. It happens. And the result is given to them just by an blind, meaningless, mindless, knowledgeless, and with no free will at all, blind nature. That is the psychology we have to understand. And unfortunately, these people, oh, I'm very sorry for them, these people have no meaning, no satisfaction for their human needs, which human needs expect of for a perfect satisfaction. And there is no perfect satisfaction. That's why they say you have to create your destiny, your fate. Why? Because nature is blind. Now, another type is some others pray to absurd nature. Absurd nature, they think that whatever they are doing has no meaning, devoid of intrinsic value. There is no intrinsic value. Whatever they are doing, I am doing something, I am drinking water, I'm thirsty, okay? I am drinking water. Let's understand this, if you like, unbelievers' psychology, how they torture themselves. I am thirsty and I am drinking water. And ask me, what am I doing? Ask me, what am I doing? Dr. Rajati, ask me.
Yeah. What are
Let's
you?
assume that I am drinking water. Yeah, yeah. Ask
Yeah.
me, what am I doing?
Yeah. What are you doing?
I am drinking water to satisfy my thirst. Then ask me, so why are you satisfying your thirst? What will happen at the end?
Why do you drink? Why are you satisfied with thirst with
Yeah,
water?
I will get thirsty. I will I will drink water again. I will get thirsty. I will drink water again. And now I am now the believer is the nature. Yeah. So and absurd nature, meaningless nature. And at the end, I will disappear from life. What is the point then I am drinking water now? I don't know. That is nihilism. I don't know. No meaning. That is what prevalent, unfortunately, nowadays in the world. They think that whatever they are doing, they think that whatever they are doing has no meaning, devoid of intrinsic value. That's what they say. That they write in their novels, in their philosophical books, they say. And young people say that, I don't know what we are doing here. Yeah? Under the influence of this philosophy. Now, they are living in an alienated world. These words are, absurd nature, devoid of intrinsic value, alienated words are the latest 20th century and also 21st century terminology that philosophers are using. I'm not saying, I'm copying from them. They use this alienated word themselves. I don't want to mention the names of the philosophers, but they have no, they have to struggle anyways. That's what they say. They have to struggle anyways. One of the very famous, very influential philosopher. We think that, Dr. Nejat, it's very interesting. We think that we are Muslims, we don't believe in these atheist philosophers, but our life is full of the influence of these philosophers. Now, for example, if something happens to me that my expectations are not met, what I do, I have to struggle life, brother or sister. I am using their language without noticing. We are not struggling life. We are just expressing our neediness to our Creator. Although I believe I may pray 5 times a day, but I still use the same language the atheist is using. And the atheist uses this same language to express their meaningless, absurd understanding of the existence. Again, these are all the expressions that the latest nihilist philosophers use. But in any case, we have to continue our lives in spite of no reality. This is what they say. I copy paste from their writings. We have to continue our life in spite of no reality. If someone doesn't believe in God, look at the psychology, how they are enjoying their life. And unbelievable, unbelievable. If you notice that all the fundamental teachings of the Quran, what are they? Believe in an absolutely conscious God who has absolute free will and educates us here. Believe in hereafter. And believe that everything in the world is represented by angels. It means perfect creation to us. Now, all these concepts that the Quran established essentially teaches me my position, what I am doing in this world, nothing but supplicating, invoking the creator of the universe, communicating with him, and presenting my neediness to him. That is the fundamental teaching of the Quran that we've got to understand as a believer. Inshallah, if we are reading the Quran, we have to pay attention to these points. Now, meaning of prayer for a believer. Now, we are coming now. This is a book of prayer. The Quran is a book of prayer, worship, and invocation. That's the definition of the Quran and meaning of prayer for a believer. Now, let's read this beautiful description of the meaning of prayer from Quranic perspective. For a believer, we discussed what it means, prayer means for them, praying for nothing, no purpose, no really respond back from a conscious being, uh, pointless life. But Quran says is the very prayer is the very heart of worship. Now, we think that prayer, it means 5 daily prayers, salah, is the prayer. Yeah, that is the just physical form of it. And that is the representative of, physical representative of worship. But whether I pray, let's say, morning prayer or noon prayer, zuhur prayer, uh, between morning prayer and zuhur prayer, what am I doing? All my actions are nothing but worship. If I am conscious of it, I am whatever I am doing, I know that I cannot create the result. I cannot create the next moment, can we? Can you guarantee, Dr. Najati, that you will get out of this room alive?
No way.
What are you doing then? Anytime we breathe in, inhale, what we do, we worship. If we are conscious of it, or worship needs consciousness. I want to carry on my life. That's why I do, the breathing in, inhale. What am I doing? I am praying. For what? I want to exist next moment. Do you understand? Is it clear? But of course, we are not aware of it. So that is what Quran is teaching us. So the meaning of every action must be accompanied with the conscious sense of worship of the Creator. Now, it grows, that this worship, supplication grows from a deep, honest belief. If you are aware of it, believe in God, of course, not in nature. If you believe in nature, then your life is pointless. When you pray, you are aware that there is an absolute being, the creator, who governs the entire universe. That is important. Now, that is important. When I do any action, I know that an absolute being, the creator of the universe, the governor of the universe, is going to respond to my prayer. Is like saying, no, when I do any action, I should have this mind. The absolute creator knows the smallest needs of my life. Yet he is powerful enough to make my biggest aims come true. He can do it. He sees everything I go through. He knows me. He is my creator. Now, if you ask me, Dr. Najati, you are an old man. I would say to you, I am just a new creation right now. I just newly created as an old man, in the form of an old man. Inshallah, you will be alive until this age, and you will be created freshly as an old Dr. Najat.
Inshallah.
Inshallah, with a healthy life, inshallah. So that is what we are praying for, in our life. He sees everything I go through, and he hears my voice. He is a conscious creator. Just as he hears the cries of every living creature, whatever is created in the world, whatever, everything, every being, even ants, I don't know, flies, uh, and the birds, animals, plants, everything in the universe, every living creature's needs are met. So he hears their voice, he creates them and responds back to them. He introduces in this relationship. uh, I ask, he creates, that he introduces himself to me. I am your owner. I am your creator. You are the creatures. He hears me too. So I know that he hears me too, because he manages the whole world. He is the one who created me with my needs for eternity. Now, For people who don't believe in the Creator, there is no eternity at all. What they say at the best, what they say, only we are going to circulate in blind nature. At the best. But the others, we are going to disappear from existence and become a compost. Their end of life is compost. If you don't believe in God, you reduce yourself into a compost. We have to be very thankful for, Alhamdulillah, being given the opportunity or are blessed with the belief in God. He is the one who creates me with my needs for eternity. Then I can trust him with even my tiniest needs. I turn to him for everything. So since he has created me with the need for eternity, he will create it. Notice that here. Notice how much peace and clarity this kind of faith brings. Now, it fits human nature. It fits human essence. It fits human needs completely. Anything, any ideology, apart from belief, based on belief in the creator of the universe, never satisfies human capacity. Never. We have to be very careful. Now, it shows a pure, sweet connection to the absolute being, God. To true understanding this, to truly understanding this, look at what the Quran tells us now. Here we come, Dr. Najat. It is time now to talk about this verse. Now, the Quran says, Kul ma yaba'u bikum rabbi levla du'akum, as Dr. Najat mentioned before. The meaning is, say, you wouldn't have any value in my Lord if it weren't for your supplication. Now, what does it mean? It's an interesting ayah, and it's not easy to understand. For example, now let's assume, as the Quran says, if it weren't for your supplication. Now, can you imagine, Dr. Najati, can you imagine a moment that you are not supplicating to the Creator? An answer?
I, I don't think so. There is such moment.
So, for example, you are not breathing, you are not eating, you are not using your free will to act anything. What happens? What happens to you?
I mean, you die.
you, you see, you have no value. How the Quran is delicately teaches us. Because whether you believe or not, that is important. Whether you believe in God or not, everybody in his essence always in supplication. That is why Allah gives them, the creator of the universe, gives them and continues their life. So that is what the Quran, there are many verses in the Quran says, look, we created them, we gave them wealth, we gave them wealth abundantly, and they don't recognize us. And what do they do? Look, they don't really supplicate us. They say that this is what I gained. That's what the Quran says. Teaches us that you have to have a right address. When you do anything, when you have anything, don't attribute it to yourself. What you are nothing but only a person a creature in need, and you have to pray to the creator, conscious creator. Otherwise, you will reduce yourself to nothing. That is a beautiful teaching of the Quran. All the arguments between believers and non-believers can be based on whether we are supplicating the right address or wrong address in our life, practical life. Now, that means that your worth before your creator is measured solely by the bond you build with him through your prayers, supplications. If you are conscious that you are supplicating to a conscious creator, then your life is worth continuing. Otherwise, I give you an example, another example, Dr. Najat. You have a bank account. Unfortunately, we all have to have a bank account now. We are forced to do that because of the conditions of life now. Okay, you have many big amounts of money goes in and out, in and out, in and out. You say this 2 million from this company, my income, oh good, yes, and 3 million from another my business or something I bought I did, and but you go at the end, at the bottom line, what does it say? Balance. Yeah, which is important, what balance says or what comes in and out, in and out, in and out, which is important?
Balance is important.
Balance, isn't it? Yeah, but balance says zero. Can you say that, look, once upon a time I had $20 million in my account? Is it, does it mean anything?
Nothing for now.
That's what we don't understand. We think that I have now this account, but at the end it will be zero. You may say, but I have an estate. I have beautiful houses, or I don't know, farms, whatever, uh, companies. When you die, the balance will be what?
Zero.
Zero. That's what we don't notice. We don't pay attention that what the balance will be, what the balance will be. Don't tell me that, for example, 2 years ago, I had $20 million income. At the end, what is the balance? What is the balance? I say, what is the balance? Zero. That is what, uh, if we don't believe in the Creator, and if we don't really take notice of our life and how valuable it is, if we don't invest for our future life, then our balance will end up with zero, and all our life that we gained, we lost at the end, and all our struggles in life will become futile actions. That is what called is absurdism, nihilism, that the people are suffering nowadays, especially. Okay, there is a beautiful saying that captures this perfectly. Look, if let's try to understand, and this Nursi's uh, sentence here: if God did not intend to give, He would not have given us the need for it and desire to ask to satisfy this need. It needs explanation. It's a very concise expression. Then it is the backbone, it must be the backbone of our life. If I am in need of anything, don't be afraid that you are in need of anything. You are in need of everything at every moment. You cannot get out of yourself. So we are in need of everything, but what we have to understand here. No, I am being needy is better or not. The famous hadith, everybody knows that. Fakri, fakhri. What does it mean, Dr. Najati?
It's my honor to
Fakhri,
be, yeah, it's my honor to be needy.
yeah, my honor, yeah, to be needy. We think that the prophet was a poor man, didn't have money. So simple, so simple. This hadith never mean this at all. Neediness is in our essence. Every moment we are in need of everything. That is why we have to realize I am proud of my neediness, the Prophet says, because I acknowledge I cannot create anything. It means. Now, if God created me with the need that covers all my life, what does it mean? Every moment, everybody, believer, non-believer, regardless, everybody is completely in need, always. To acknowledge this, what does it mean, Dr. Nejati? This sentence.
That means that he gave this need that he's going to satisfy it, inshallah. He will give it.
If he was
Responsibly.
given it, he created me with the need. Yes? He created me with the need. So why did he create with the need? For example, he created my stomach. Don't we understand? He created my body with the need of nourishment. What does it mean?
That means there is food, then I'm going to eat and get nourishment.
Sorry?
There is a food that I'm going to eat to get nourished.
Now, it means my my being created with the stomach and need of nourishment is guarantee, washer, right? That the nourishment will be created, or the food is going to be created. Now, how do I know? Because I have stomach. I am created with stomach. It means it is guaranteed that the food is going to be created, right? Now, from there, if I need eternal satisfaction, do we need eternal satisfaction? Everything must be perfect. Eternally, you have to you need to be happy eternally. Do you have this feeling?
Yes,
Yeah. What does it mean? Guarantee. What is guaranteed there?
eternal life.
Eternal life is guaranteed. Yeah. If you see that a smallest germ is created with, for example, ants. Yeah, ants. Now, ants are created with the digestive system. What does it mean? Their food is guaranteed. So we have to understand, if I am ill, if I am ill, I need what? Health. Yeah? Now, health is definitely given to me. Now, whether this health is given to me in this world or in the next creation. But I want to be healthy eternally, eternally. So eternal health is guaranteed. I need the practice here. I have to go and practice so that I will understand. I am I am needy of health, so I have to ask the Creator to give me the health, to create the health for me. I am practicing this in my daily life, and this is the guarantee that I need eternal healthy life. So God is saying, I am going to give you the eternal healthy life. If I ask God that if I believe that He is the one who's going to do it, then in the next creation, He will say, okay, that since you asked me, you acknowledged me, the one who gives your eternal health, I am going to give you an eternal happy life, a healthy life. But if someone says, uh, naturally it happened to be, and the Quran is very explicitly states that, okay, you said nature, the accident, evolvement, evolution developed you in this way, and it is going to satisfy your nature is going to satisfy your need. Ask nature satisfy your need. That's so simple. That's what Quran warns us from now. Whatever you are addressing your needs in the next creation, you will be responded back in this way. So what the Quran says, okay, call your gods. Now, we shouldn't say that call your gods. The mushrikeen of Mecca used to have idols. This is ridiculous. The 20th, 21st century people never worship idols. They worship idol of nature. They worship idol of accidental evolvement, the evolving. They worship the accidental happenings, natural events, and I don't know, reactions. Their worship, their idols completely changed. And we have to understand the Quran. When the Quran says worshiping idols, committing shirk, it means nature, accidental happening, a meaningless word. That is the idol of the 20th century, 21st century. So, key takeaways in simple terms. One, prayer is in fact connection, right? Connection. It is not just a ritual, but it is included, but not just a ritual. It is a conversation with the one who runs the universe, who creates the universe and administers it, governs it. Rituals are the reminding means of this connection with our Creator. Only reminders, prayer, fasting, giving zakat, obeying Sharia rules are just reminders. But in fact, whole life is connection. Our life is connection. We have to be aware that I'm connecting to my Creator. As I breathe in, I have to say, I am asking my Creator to give me life. Another moment, another moment. Now, no request is too small. The one also we do whatever you need. There is something here hurting you. That is your need again. That is your that you need to be repaired there. You need to be healthy here. Small thing here disturbs you. Now, the one who holds the stars in their courses, and at the same time creates the digestive system in the ant and provides its food according to that systems, he can certainly help you with your daily struggles. He knows everything. Be sure that everything must be addressed to him. And the last, summary of what we do here, desire is a promise. If I have the desire, if I am created with the desire, it is the summary of what we have been talking. If I have given the desire for eternal life, it is a promise. It is a guarantee paper. So if he had, sorry, sorry. what happened? Yeah. If he had not wanted to give, he wouldn't have instilled in the feeling of wanting. He wouldn't have instilled the feeling of wanting in my creation. If he had not wanted to meet the need, he wouldn't have created you and me with the need. That's what we have to understand. What the prayer really means. And the Quran is from the beginning to the end, really teaches us the essence of the prayer. For today, I am done, Dr. Nezat.
Thank you very much. I think, mashallah, it was very important, comprehensive subject. So let me just highlight key point before we end. So I think the starting point is to really redefine prayer. So prayer is not just ritual supplications, memorization of certain wording. Prayer is realization of who we are and who is the creator, and a way of connecting and communicating with creator. To do that is essential that we understand that we are absolutely needed. That's فقر mutlaq. And we are absolutely powerless. That's ajz mutlaq. So to understand that we cannot fulfill our need, do not have power that, and we have endless need is the necessary condition. That after that, to look at around and to see everything are no different than us in terms of to being needy and powerless, then direct us toward the source that who can respond to the needs of everyone and everything, including me. To have such understanding from the observation of the universe and to see that the one who responds to the need of all creation is absolutely powerful and kind and caring and compassionate, that make us give us every reason to call on him for whatever we need and whatever we want. So in this regard, that essentially prayer, it's very much the consequences of the iman or tawheed that we have, our understanding of the creator and ourself. So once we get this proper understanding, then prayer become a very pleasant way of communication and connection. Prayer become very, it become a treasure for us, because that there is nothing that you can, let's say, oh, he cannot give it to me. So you can ask for anything and everything. And he respond to every request that you will have. You might not get it now, or you might get some things better than what you want. That's something else. But he no request is left without response. And given is all wise, most merciful, or powerful, then I think in this case you can have full confidence in, in finding the pleasure in your prayer, establishing connection. Then when you get sick or you're hungry or needy or you have a trouble in your life, that's the perfect opportunity of making connection and making dua. That's my understanding, and may Allah help us to do that, because I see in modern times they really do everything to make us not to feel our need, not to feel our powerlessness. That I really see that's the main obstacles for us not to pray, particularly if you're rich, you think the money can solve the problem. If you're healthy, you think you can actually use your power to handle your own power. You don't really feel that the rich and the healthy are in need of prayer as much as the sick and the poor. And I think that's very, very essential. That may Allah make us to really, understand this reality. Thank you
And
very much. How I can summarize.
next week, we will, inshallah, concentrate on where the trick is going on in the secular civilization, and we are saying that the scientists are improving our life, and that is their productions. Now we are going to into more practical terms now. Now today we just based on the theoretical base of the side of it. Inshallah, next week we will concentrate on the practical side is these all these pictures express inshallah and the practical side of prayer and of course this is theory. Today we talked about theory, but how are we going to reflect it in our life? Inshallah, next week. These are essential subjects that unfortunately not very well known among the Muslim population, the students of the Quran. Unfortunately, Quran is not appreciated as it deserves to be appreciated. Unfortunately, we have to try our best. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. سبحانك لا علم لنا إلا ما علمتنا إنك أنت العليم الحكيم وآخر دعوانا إن الحمد لله رب العالمين بحرمة سر سورة الفاتحة.
Thank you very much. Thanks, everyone. And see you next week, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum.